I'm Roger Richardson, farmer. It's not the cleanest job in the world. You better not mind getting dirty once in a while. But likewise, it is very pleasing when you grow a crop and it's a good crop and it's helped everybody, and it's just the way of life.
At 90 years old, Roger Richardson has seen nearly a century of agricultural advancement. But before self-driving tractors and precision ag, Roger was just a boy in his father's fields.
My father had 65 acres here, and we had chickens, grew some vegetables, and I remember many times using mules to cultivate with. And one day I got in trouble for that because I'd stayed out too late the night before, and Dad told me a certain field to go cultivate, and I was working in that field when the mules got to the end of the road. Well, I'd gone to sleep and wouldn't tell them what to do. They just stopped. So when Dad come home, we were still sitting there. Mules standing there and me asleep. So I didn't do that anymore.
It was one of many lessons Roger learned from his family. And he never fell asleep on the job again. Instead, he committed himself to farming despite being offered a contract to play Major League Baseball for the then Philadelphia Athletics.
I was a fairly good hitter, and that's what they were after. I was a slow runner, but they said that don't matter if you hit the ball hard enough. But Mom had died, and Dad was by himself, and there weren't no way I was going to leave home like that.
It wasn't a hard decision for the man who admits he loves to watch things grow. And grow they did. Under the stewardship of Roger and his wife, Fay, the farm transitioned from produce to corn and soybean. Richardson Farms now stretches across 3 counties and over 3,500 acres of owned and leased land. And while the crops in the ground are impressive, perhaps the most impactful part of Roger's legacy is his life off the farm.
Well, agriculture was a lone wolf and it had no voice anywhere at that time. Farm Bureau had a voice, but nobody paid any attention. And we felt like it was time for agriculture to have a word and a place to speak.
Roger was appointed to a governor's committee along with 13 others, and in 1972, they would create the Maryland Department of Agriculture, a government body dedicated to promoting the interests of Maryland agriculture. Over 30 years later, Roger would be asked by Governor Martin O'Malley to run it as the department's secretary. And while he's since retired from the position, his impact at the MDA is still seen and felt by current Secretary Kevin Addix.
I think in this role as Secretary of Agriculture, you're best if you're forthright, you're best if you're honest, you're best if you're kind, and I'm working on all of those things. But I look to Roger as my role model and as an example of how to lead this agency through the support of the industry, not for the industry or at the industry, but with the industry. And Roger is that model.
But at the end of the day, Roger was and still is a farmer, overcoming every unpredictable challenge with humor and humility.
My father used to say, you can go to Ocean Dance to the races, in 20 minutes you know whether you won or lost. On the farm, you plant your corn or plant your beans, and 6 months later you find out if you won or lost. So there's no bigger gambler in the country than a farmer, because he puts his money out in the ground. How many people bury their money every year? You think about that.
Today, he's working with the next generation to keep the family legacy alive. And while his farming knowledge and experience should be celebrated, those who know him best, like his daughter Donna, believe that character is his greatest accomplishment.
Just always been a very down-to-earth person. Another memory as a child was if we were getting ready to go somewhere and someone would come up, we'd all would go, oh no, because we knew we weren't leaving unless it was on Sunday and we were getting ready to go to church. We knew that whatever problem they had, whatever they needed, that was going to happen before we got to go wherever it was we were going. He likes to help people, no matter what it is. So I think serving people and serving the industry that he loved, it was just a good combination for him.
Roger has left an indelible mark on Maryland agriculture, and his advice for the next generation of farmers are words that we should all strive to follow.
Well, it's a lot easier to do something helpful to someone than to do something hurtful. And if somebody needs some help, stop, take your time and help them. You can't go wrong if you're doing right.
Thanks for watching Maryland Farm and Harvest. We hope you liked the video. Make sure to subscribe so you won't miss out on future videos. To learn more about our show and watch full episodes, check out mpt.org/farm or just click the link in the description.